Okay, so first off, let me say that I don't hate this game. Oh, right. Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is MiAh the King, and I don't hate this game. Welcome back to another one of my patented First Impressions review. If you don't know what First Impressions review are, then allow me to explain. I spent a couple of hours, the first couple of hours, into a game trying to play it for fun, while also jotting down all the things that I find fascinating or incredible, or irritating and horrible. Why do I do this? Because first impressions are normally between 10 and 30 minutes, maybe an hour at most, and reviews require you to spend more than 5 hours if a game even lasts that long. Now, I don't have time for all that, so I smushed them together. I do this to help people, not myself. So, to help people get a better idea of the game they are thinking of spending money on, I do it this way. By the way, if you don't mind, could you please hit that subscribe button right down there? It's only going to take you like 2 seconds, and it's not going to affect you in any way. But hey, it'll help me. It'll help me out a whole lot. But if you do want to be more involved, then hit the little bell that's right there. If you do that, then you'll be notified of when I put out a new video and can stay in touch as I waste my own money so you don't have to. Man, that should be like a slogan or something. Anyway, back to my little video here. This game came out earlier today. Sorry this is out so late, by the way. And, well, as I was saying before, I don't hate this game. Keep that in mind as I go further. I already know what some of you will say. Oh, you just aren't smart enough to handle the game, or you didn't even take the time to learn, or you're new to the series, so obviously you won't get it. Shut it. Alright? None of that matters. This game should be marketable to a new fan base as well as an old fan base. These are the same people who made Planet Coaster, if you were unaware, along with some other games. Now, I personally hated Planet Coaster, and unfortunately for this game, the reasons why I hated Planet Coaster are the exact same reasons why this game just doesn't work for me. Now, as you may have noticed already, the game is a bit choppy. This is not my computer's fault, and it isn't OBS's fault. This is the game. Now, as time goes on, you'll see that it'll start to smooth out a bit and get a little bit better in its processing, but it's not a great first look. I apologize for that, but I wanted it to be in this video so I could show it to all of you guys. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You guys want to know why you should buy it or why you shouldn't. I understand, and I'm not going to waste your time. The good things about this game are pretty much what you'd expect. The graphics are great, the sounds are great, the idea is great. But that's about it. Basically, if you had to take 5 main things required to make a game, then I'd have to say it's going to be graphics, sound, processing, stability, and originality. But, as we all know, that's not all there is to making a great game. There are specifics as well. Now, there are far too many of those for me to get into them, but this game basically got most of the basics right and none of the specifics right. The graphics are amazing, no doubt about it. I love the art style, and I love how it's all blended together. The animals are really well done, the attention to detail is amazing, and even when they get wet, you can see the slick sheen of their soaked fur. I gotta bring attention to that because it's definitely worth mentioning. The sounds, they're really good. The music is pleasant. It never sounds like it's repetitive, and it fits the theme. And the sounds from the crowd or the animals feel correct, and they feel appropriate. The options and the variations are amazingly diverse. The animals, decorations, terrain options, there's just so many of them out there, but perhaps too many. But as you can see, the processing is obviously a bit messy, and the whole time I was playing, I felt like I was going in slow motion. The stability is garbage, and I'll go into that a bit later, and as for originality, well, this game isn't that original, but it does have a rarely used topic, which works well, and I've got no complaints about. But other than the graphics and sound, this game doesn't really offer a whole lot. It's not next gen, it's not breaking the mold, it's not really doing anything extraordinary, and that's a damn shame. I mean, except for that animal thing. I guess that's pretty good. But that's, when you think about everything, it's kind of minor if you compare it to everything else. I was really excited about this game. I was looking forward to it, literally counting down the weeks, days, and hours until it was finally released. I so badly wanted this to be good. I kept thinking to myself, oh, it's going to be like Zoo Tycoon, but with today's graphics and UI, that's awesome. But no, it's not. If that's what you're thinking it's going to be, if that's what you're expecting, you're wrong. That's not what it is. So, what's wrong with it exactly? Well, the user interface is awful. Absolutely awful. Everything is confusing. The menus take up large portions of your screen, if not the whole damn screen. It's clunky, it's awkward, and there's no information bubbles or information panels when hovering over items, or animals, or anything. I mean, what the hell is with games nowadays not giving me any damn information bubbles when I hover my mouse over them? Crossroads Inn did the same thing. Now this, if this is becoming a regular thing, it better not be. This is starting to really get on my nerves. The game in its entirety is confusing as hell. The tutorial is hard to follow, and it kind of expects you to find what you're looking for on your own. It has too many steps just to do a simple thing, and it has some really weird gameplay mechanics that just shouldn't belong there. I mean, why the hell is it possible for me to stick a tree on top of my barrier walls? Why do I have to dig before placing water? Why not just let me place water and have the ground be dug automatically like Zoo Tycoon did? When trying to edit your barriers, the game has no shortcuts, barely explains how to do it, and then doesn't give you any reason why something you're trying to do isn't working. The game obviously has bugs and glitches at release. Now normally for a game that was just released I don't mind these too much, but when it crashes my game twice in an hour, well, that makes your game practically unplayable, and it needs to be discussed. I hope this is fixed soon, but keep in mind that this game is just not ready. Along with that, I had a bug where my visitors entering my custom zoo were just stuck at the entrance. There was a road and everything was working fine, so there was no reason why they were stuck. There was no reason. It wasn't giving me any reason why this wasn't working. There wasn't even like an error message that said your people are getting frustrated, they can't see the animals or anything. Turns out to fix it, I needed a larger road. But did the game explain that to me? No. And at least, I mean, I'm not even sure if that was the problem. I think that was the problem. It fixed it. But why was that a problem at all? There was a road connecting it. It should have been fine. Yeah, you can use an argument like, oh, well, they were all backed up. There were a lot of people there, so, you know, obviously you need a larger road. But, like, how does that make sense at all? Just because the road is smaller doesn't mean everyone became idiots. Doesn't mean suddenly they can't walk cramped together. Maybe they could complain about it, but not just get stuck. It was ridiculous. It was dumb. That shouldn't have been a problem at all. Another thing that really turned me off with this game was the mechanics for the pathing. You know those little roads you make for your employees and customers to walk on? It's painfully bad. It physically hurt me. At least give me an option to choose whether I want to make straight roads or curved roads. Otherwise, it looks awful trying to do it yourself. This might just be a minor thing to you guys and anyone else out there, but to me it's super frustrating when I'm trying to make my zoo look all official and professional and nice, and my roads look like they were drawn on the planet by a giant 3-year-old. Now I mentioned this earlier, but those information panels that are non-existent, I mean, if you want to know anything about anything, you need to remember its exact name, because there's like 7,000 different types of this particular item. So you gotta remember its exact name. Then you gotta go into its Zoopedia. You gotta search for it, find the right one, read a giant novel about it, then go back to where you found it originally, you gotta search for it again, and then you get to use it the way it's intended. You feel like doing that 100 times for each different item or animal in the game? Yeah, me neither. Another thing that an impatient person like me had to deal with is the pacing of the game. It's slow. It's really, really slow. And I don't mean that the game itself is slow, like people walking around or animals or whatever. You can speed up the time, which speeds that up, so that's fine. No, I mean things like controlling your camera, searching for things through the menus, loading up between menus or levels, or placing things, deleting things. It's all on a delay. And after an hour, that really starts to get on your nerves. Now I know what I was expecting when I started playing this game. I was expecting something like Zoo Tycoon, so I may have come into it with a wrong point of view. I mentioned that earlier. And this game does look like a Zoo Tycoon reboot, but it's not. It's just another random game company making another random zoo game and not quite understanding why players liked Zoo Tycoon so much. And if you were going to try to tell me that people didn't like Zoo Tycoon, you're full of yourself. Zoo Tycoon had like 3 expansions. Alright, you don't do that for a game that's not popular. Now, I don't know about you guys out there. Maybe you love the overcomplicated stuff, but I don't. And for a simple game like this, I think that overcomplicating it just makes it messy, confusing, and pointless. I don't want to play this game like I'm studying for a test. I don't want to play this game and feel like I'm doing chores, which this game makes you feel like both of those. I just want to make my own zoo with different animals and exhibits and customize and have fun. I want to make my own cool, unique designs and fiddle around with the animals and people. I want to let the animals loose and see what happens to my guests. I want to do all kinds of crazy, unique, or interesting things, and I feel like to do any of them, I need to walk through a mile of menus, dialogue, text, and slow interface just to get one freaking thing done. In other words, I want a game that's focused on being fun, not focused on being accurate. If I wanted to run an actual zoo, then I'd do that as a job. Maybe. In like 10 years of really hard work. But I don't want to, or I'd already be doing it. I just want to play a game that's fun, and this feels less like fun and more like boring chores. And that's the disappointing part. It's not fun. None of it's fun. Everything is a chore. Everything is annoying. It fools you into thinking it'll be fun, or cool, or unique, or different. But it's just Planet Coaster with a different skin, so where's the originality there? Where's the creativity? Just take Planet Coaster. I wouldn't be surprised if they used the same damn engine for it. And why do they need so many damn menus? Why do they need so much information and yet not enough information? They have so much information, but it's not in the right place. I don't give a shit about the background of a specific type of leaf from the rainforest. I just want to know if my tigers think it's pretty or not. And what's the difference between rough water and calm water? Is rough water supposed to be like the ocean? But it's in a pond in a zoo paddock, so how is it rough? I don't know. It's confusing and dumb. There. That's the extent of how much I care. Oh, and another thing I just remembered. I had this stupid bug where no matter what I set my prices to, the customers were complaining. I actually set my tickets for adults and children to $0, and they were still complaining it was too much. Talk about your spoiled little shits. So if you like the idea of literally managing a zoo in every fucking way possible, in all the benign, pointless ways, and I mean controlling when it's open, how much this guy gets paid more than that guy, or how many people to run a paddock, or how many people are in your zoo, or how many animals are in your zoo, if you can release them into the wild or not, or if they desire one kind of leaf but not another kind of leaf, if you care a lot about your animal's cleanliness, or your patron's cleanliness, or your workers' cleanliness, then this game is fucking perfect for you. But if you just wanted to play a fun, simple little zoo game, then this is definitely not for you. And for its asking price, you really need to know what you're getting into if you're going to buy this. I personally didn't want a super complex and super in-depth detailed zoo manager simulator. I just wanted a little zoo tycoon game to mess around with and have some fun. Make some animals. Maybe put tigers and lions in the same paddock and see what happens. See who's the best. So, for me, this is a no-go. Now, as I said, I don't hate this game. I can see the appeal, and I know there are people out there who might enjoy this kind of stuff that's super complicated and in-depth. And to you guys, you know, who enjoy that kind of stuff, go for it. Have fun. Enjoy. You'll probably love it. But if you only get like a couple of hours a day to play your video game because you're busy with work or school or whatever, this is pretty much a waste of your time. You won't really have enough time to get into the game. You'll have to sacrifice doing anything else just so you can fully dedicate yourself to this just to learn how to play. Otherwise, you're always going to feel like you're missing something, or you're always going to feel confused. So if you're looking for something simple and fun, this isn't it. If you're looking for something more complicated and in-depth, which requires dedication, then this is perfect. For me, I don't want to manage my own zoo and all the complexities that come with it. I just wanted to play a fun game. I mean, isn't that the point of games? It's to do stuff we normally can't do but think would be fun to do. It's the fun parts of life, not the boring, annoying, job-like parts. So for me, this is a no. Now I'm going to continue to play it, and I'm going to continue to see if maybe if I get more into it, I can understand it, or its appeal and whatnot. But honestly, after 2 hours and it crashing a third time in the second hour, personally, I'm pretty much done with it. I don't want to. I'm going to, but I don't want to. I'm only going to be playing it so I can try to be professional. And you know, who knows? Maybe I'll put out another video where I come back saying, yeah, it took me a little while to get into it, but I like it now. But even so, if a game needs anyone, not just me, but anyone, to spend a lot of time on it just to quote-unquote get it, then it's doing something wrong. If I had to give it a rating, which I don't because this isn't a true review, then I'd give it a 5 out of 10. It's average. It's nothing special. It doesn't do anything unique or outstanding. Now, you know what? I take that back. It does have great art and graphics involving the animals. But that's it. It basically just holds the bar, doesn't raise it. Take that as you will. I hope some of you were helped by this little video. Don't go into it expecting anything else. Go into it expecting the worst, and maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised, or maybe you'd have wasted your money. But that's why I do this, to try and help. So if you heard all this and still think it'd be fun and enjoyable, then hey, go ahead, buy it, enjoy it, have fun, knock yourself out. I hope you get everything out of it that you wanted. But I'm just your average guy. I have kids, a job. I don't have a job, but this is my job. But I have kids, I have hobbies, my wife, I try to spend time with her. And you know, I used to be that guy who worked 10 hours a day and only had a couple hours each night to play a game. You know what I mean? And as an average guy who's been around the block and who's seen and done all kinds of different things and been playing games since I was 10 years old, I don't like it. But again, that's my own opinion. I just want to let you guys know what I thought, and I wanted you guys to get a more in-depth look at it because, let's face it, the advertisements aren't going to show you this crap. They're only going to show you the good parts. Ooh, look at our fancy graphics. Ooh, look at the new stuff you can do. Oh, look at the animals. Aren't they so cool? But they're gonna ignore the menus. They're gonna ignore the glitches and bugs. They're gonna ignore how slow it is. And they're just gonna show you the good parts. And you know it as well as I do. So anyway, as I was saying, I just want to let you guys know more about it before you go off and buy it. That's the only reason why I'm doing this. Trying to help people out there save money, and maybe if we can get enough people who start looking at games for more than just face value, we can start holding these developers to a higher standard, and we can actually start to get some really good games again. So, that's all I got for this episode, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching me. I really do hope I helped, and I'm not mean on purpose. I'm just brutally honest. So once again, thank you for watching. I can't wait to see you on my next adventure, and until then, I bid you farewell.